alive. He is. I'll voice that accent. All right. Yeah. There. Let's actually raise my voice a little bit. There we go. I think that looks good. That number looks good. Outer long. I have 3 fucking drinks on my desk right now. I have so much hydration near me. Of course, they're out of here you go, you fucking bastard.
Somebody's been running around town raving about a colony ship. Plague must have gone into their brain matter.
Got that medicine?
Thanks. I'll see to it that this medicine gets to the people who need it. Here, something for your trouble. Nothing personal, but I hope we never do business together again. Don't want to make a habit of consorting with smuggler types.
Ah! Never? That's harsh. Please leave me something to remember you by.
You do have some cheek on you. Lucky for you, I kept a little contingency fee in case you tried to negotiate with me.
Curious, who are you gonna give that medicine to?
Somebody deserving. Silas on account of him being out in the cold. Amelia seeing how she's around people all the time. Anybody in the sick room?
But like, when I say hydrate, like, Tarada, look at this. This is a homemade strawberry milkshake. This is my face. And I still have my Mountain Dew. and got my glass of water. I don't have room on my fucking desk for this.
Oh, I'm an actuary. That means I keep tabs on a worker's living expenses. How much it costs to feed, clothe, shelter, bury, and replace your average human worker. Technically, I'm employed by the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources.
Oh, she works HR. Very nice. Go to the vicar. I think we can. Can I raise my foot? No.
Any progress on that matter we discussed?
Here's your book.
Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French.
Yeah, fuck
It's
the French.
A forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn.
You didn't want that book to keep others from reading. You just wanted it for yourself.
Well, yes. But I assure you, it was not for personal gain, only for the greater good. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted.
Flagrant. What happened to all your crap about leading your flock?
Please, those dolts?
You're an asshole,
Nothing
aren't
could
you?
be more excruciating than discussing the true nature of reality with people who have no interest beyond their next Aetherwave program. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew.
What's in it for me?
Free spiritual counseling, someone to watch your back, not to mention a grown-up in the party.
I'm 28.
Huh.
Exactly. I'm pretty handy with a
I'm
toss
23.
ball stick, or any
Fuck
blunt
you.
instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well.
A priest that can hack? Is that all part of
Well,
your training?
Understanding computers is, though I admit I took it further than most. And I was quite the 32nd back during my seminary days. Left many an opponent bleeding on the field.
Are you even a vicar? Because you aren't sounding very, vicarly right now.
Of course. I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other you'll find in this colony. I joined the OSI to help decipher the grand plan. But instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics. Then I came here. Satisfied?
I don't think you were being completely honest with me about that book. What's the story?
It's the journal of one of the originators of the Philosopher's School of Thought, though it would be more than a century before it was perverted into that belief system. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of that came later. Bakonu had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan.
How'd you get assigned to prison duty?
Most laypeople are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's the long and short of it. So, what do you think?
Sounds good.
Fantastic. Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up with you.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
Skill points available. Okay, what do you want to spend our skill points on? Oh, so if I... Points to... Oh. Okay. $50 no longer. Got it. Upgrade our guns a bit. Full of digits. Taste the freedom. Doesn't look like we have a stamina bar.
Don't mess with us.
Got him.
Incoming.
Whoa. Angry beast. Angry beast.
Got 'em all.
There's the body. Hey.
Done.
Any other loot around here? Yeah. Go to this one over here. Nick. Oh. Like me? Just. Yep, just. Enjoy your.
Inside voices.
I'm going to. Okay. Thank you. Now I'm gonna run. Here's the thermal plant.
That's the
Ow.
last of 'em.
Oh, they attack! I didn't realize they'd attack me. I'm definitely taking their fucking wings down.
Don't mess with us.
You're still alive? Fuck you. I don't know how I got his finger after disintegrating him, but you know what? I did. Look at them all cuddled up next to each other. Adorable. Up here. That's mine now. Thank you. Now to run all the way over. Fuck is that? It's a fucking snake! And it's thick! Dummy thick. Uh-oh. Good. Come on. Surely I can't climb. Ow. There's another one of them. Nick. I think I looted. Yeah. Totally. Maybe not. Got. Just gonna keep moving. Light machine gun? Excuse me?
You're fast.
I know, I'm quite skilled, aren't I, Parvati? Oh, this is a big town. A big area. Inventory. We have a rifle, don't we? Sniper? Blood on stick. Oh, I like this. Hey. Yeah, fuck. Quick. I totally click scope. I like the sniper. I like it a lot.
I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
There's the robot. Oh. Back down. Okay. Oh.
No encore?
Easy.
Can I make my own robot? My own robot? I like robot. Robots are cool. Robots can fuck shit up, dude. I wanna go through each of these fucking buildings. We're gonna start at the end here. And make our way. Making my way. What the? Oops. Ah! That's close. Open sesame. Was it?
Wow, you crossed them all off, like
Who the
some
fuck are
sort
you?
of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways.
You sound fucked up.
Only thing unscrewed around here is the head of that marauder you took down.
Fair point.
Never seen moves like that outside my serial dramas.
Alright. Mountain
You,
Dew is
on the
down.
other hand,
Now for
you
the
were a sight
strawberry
to
shake.
behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen.
You need to clarify something for me.
I'm great at clarifying.
I'm not. How the fuck are you alive?
I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable.
Oh, you're one of
you mean
those kind
around
of
these
people.
guys?
Oh, great.
The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma.
I want to punch you in the face. You prisoner?
No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And
Ah, I
didn't do mine one whit.
see. From Edgewater?
I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the Botanical Labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them. I've got all the time in Halcyon.
Okay. Yeah, you just stay there, I guess. Don't move. Do anything silly, I guess. That costs 5 attacks? No, fuck that. Huh? Oh. Please. Wait. Oh, I can. It looks like. Neat. That tiny thing. Can I open big building? Come on in. It's a big building. Surely there's gotta be fire. By the law of gaming. Right? The law. Ow! Guess not.
You trying to get us all in trouble? What do you think you're doing?
Whatever I want.
Carry on.
Here they come!
The fuck is wrong with her? What? No, wait, I'm not. She's definitely something's messed up. Oh, whoa!
Goodness!
Zoe? Did she? What? What did you? Huh? What? Who the fuck killed her? I'm stuck. No longer stuck. I'm confused. Oh. Oh. Did she? She must have stepped on a mine. Dumbass. I don't think they're gonna automatically attack me.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you.
I don't know
Whatever you're
you.
looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
Looking for Adelaide.
Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on ya. Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind.
We've all got problems. I just got shot into space.
Explains why you're still yammering on at me. No, I'm
Rude.
sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
Oh.
Thank the Eternal. Wait, Marauder camp. Is she all right? Queen of the Marauders, huh? That's what comes of watching serials. Rots your gray.
Yeah.
If you could bring her home, I'd be obliged. And if you could cross off some Marauders on the way, I'd be much obliged. You want to expand on that?
She went feral. I had to put her down.
I was hoping you wouldn't say that. I was really hoping. You'd better not be spinning me a story. Yeah, that belonged to her well enough. Guess there's no arguing with you. You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
Yay, we got another level up. Let's see. What does engineering do? I want to keep going with the hack. Oh no, I want to keep going with the lock. All right, let's see. Crit 25. Number of flaws I have? What? We'll do that. We'll just add some palette. It's like a... You guys got your own kind of stores here?
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too. Something I can help you with?
What you
Fresh off
selling?
the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Okay. So, junk to you. Basic shows customized. I have enough to buy this fucking pistol. Ooh, these don't. These take up space. I think they. Hmm. I want to go in the Botanical Garden. Yeah. Howdy, bro. How you doing? Well, today's the day, Zoe. Today's the day you take. God. Fucking right. I'm not being that. I'm lazy.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery. Yeah, huh?
You what now?
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
Take that as a compliment.
Well, what I meant was you're reasonably well armed and don't look stricken with plague. Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Never too late to start learning. I could give you a couple pointers.
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged. I wish I knew. I wagered the town had the full set once upon a time. Where the third's gone, I can't say.
Oh, I bet I think
I'll pay you
third
for
one
every
is
pad
in
you
that
bring me. If
electrified area, I
you
bet.
bring me the full set, I'll give you something pretty I've been saving for a lucky day. Would you? I'd be grateful. What's on your mind? Luck, mostly. Nothing's needed serious repairing yet. Nothing's broken down that we can't just replace with something scavenged from the outskirts. Oh, I can swap out a water filter or charge up a battery and go on pretending I know what I'm doing, but the moment I'm asked to do any real engineering, I'm in trouble. Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious.
What are you doing out in the wilderness?
We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... oh, this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
Let's break down all of our fucking weapons. I can sell that for more. If I tinker with it, cost it. I don't like that. I don't like it. Okay. What about that house at the top of the hill? That belonged to. I don't want to piss him off by taking the shit. What? Howdy, deserter. How you doing? I wasn't gonna break into that house at all. Alright, let's talk to Adelaide. Nice place you got here.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
No, we're just looking, nothing illegal. I mean, you must be Adelaide.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Looks like you made a home for yourself out here.
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Why'd you leave your old home?
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject. No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
She's Nakami!
The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer.
Reed sent me to make peace with him.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Something about coming back to town or losing power. I wasn't really
I
listening.
can't say I blame you. Reed is
Pretty much.
positively soporific. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want chip parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
What have you got against the town?
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's Choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear.
Yeah, she's a bit of an asshole.
It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery.
What happens to Edgewater if I help you?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
You think Reed's just trying to spite you?
You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
I'll consider it.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Okay, let's do the robot mission first. We'll save the geothermal plant for Lion. I am assuming, and I think I am rightfully assuming, that the last book, last volume is geothermal plant. That would make sense to me.
from me. Here we go!
Got it. I killed the robot. What's in here? Frozen dinner? Foggies? So remember that for when I betray the town. When I divert the power. Oh wait, I gotta talk to the nut job. We'll just run through town. Get to fast running around the town.
When I...
Bring us honor, soldier.
Don't have to worry about the scout.
You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs? Pulled its optic cables out its head case? Actually, don't tell me. Rather use my imagination.
This guy's fucked up.
You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess. But you are one, and the enemy is legion. What you need is an equalizer. A weapon to strike fear in their cold, mechanical hearts.
What?
Cantina, lavatory, behind one of the toilets. That's where I've kept it hidden all these years.
You hid your secret weapon.
Sharp, ain't it? The lavatory is the very last place a mechanical has need to enter.
That's a fair point.
On the double, soldier. Don't want the bartender poking around in there with a mop.
How long have you put it? How long have you left it in the bathroom, though, dude? Like, really, she would have found it by now.
Something got you down?
You're not a big drinker, are you?
Bring us honor, soldier.
Here's the
Feast
package.
your eyes, soldier. This here is a genuine Spacer's Choice injury customizing unit.
Ah.
Designed to deliver a lethal blast of electrical discharge.
I didn't realize
I
his
call
quest
it the
line would be so
hand
long.
Of the law. You ever want to see a mechanical flailing around like a grounded fish? You stick a couple thousand volts in its guts. With compliments from old Ludwig. There's a workbench right through this door. Attach that unit to your favorite weapon and go forth into glorious battle. Time's come for you to journey down into the black heart of the enemy's camp.
Ah.
I'm talking about the old geothermal plant. Unfortunately, the old plant lies outside my board-given jurisdiction. You'll need to get a passcode from the boss, Reed Thompson. been after a passcode for years. Boss said no on account of my gross incompetence with all matters related to security. I need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not exactly a brain. Anatomically speaking, what we're looking for is a logic module. There's the rub. If a mechanical breaks down, the logic module fries. So you can't rip one out of its corpse. You're gonna have to find an intact model somehow.
I don't reckon so. I work with gears and pistons and such. Stuff you can put hands to. Computers and mechanical brains are outside my ken.
You know, she names the mechanicals she fixes. Calls them Bess and Clancy and so on. You keep a careful eye on her. Could be a sympathizer. Don't tell anyone, all right? I've got a contact. A real expert in the inner workings of the automaton. We are gonna rip those mechanical secrets right out of their circuits.
Edgewater's in the middle of nowhere. You don't have a contact.
Well, excuse me. What I meant was I'm going to get a contact. Didn't know I had to be all prissy about my grammar around you. If you die horribly, I will pour out a can of 0G to your memory.
Oh, how kind.
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna... I'm in Philly.
Something to report? We pay by the finger. What do you have for me?
I got all three.
Gil Antrim. Real name, Guillaume. Duly processed by a freelancer on behalf of Spacer's Choice. I remember him. He was just a kid last I saw him. Shame. I'll just need your signature here, 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 and here. Got any more fingers for me?
Doc Mayville.
Mabel Burgess. Age 37. Right or left-handed? Let's just say no longer applicable. I remember Doc Burgess. Conducted my physical every fiscal quarter. Guess she couldn't keep her hands off her patient's medicine. Still one outstanding bounty. If you've got a finger, I've got the paperwork.
Birdie
Here
Cotton.
we are. Birdie Cotton. Cause of death. Let's just say overwhelming physical trauma. Bert was the local preacher before Max took over. Always was quick to remind us that we all get what we deserve in the end. Well, that's all three. I must remember to requisition some more fingerprint to ink. Here's all the compensation you've earned, plus a bonus.
What's this, Junior Deputy Constable?
You've done such a bang-up job hunting down our former workers that I thought it only proper to deputize you. Congratulations.
Oh. Did so many people end up
Let me
marauders?
stop you there. It is official Spacer's Choice policy that all Marauders, regardless of prior affiliation to the Spacer's Choice brand, no longer qualify as our people.
Doesn't really answer my question.
Marauders are folk who lost the will to keep working, wandered out into the wilds and gave into their baser instincts. Not everyone's cut out to work in Edgewater. Some turn deserter, some turn marauder. None of them get my sympathy. Uh-huh. I recall young Eugene. Good kid. Nice smile. Fussy about his health, though. Took a little too much adrenatime. That'll do a number on your brain matter. Says so right on the warning label. Violent psychosis is a well-documented and legally accounted for side effect of adrenatime. What's on your mind?
Nope, that's it, I guess. All right.
I've been feeling pretty low these days.
workshop and mod a weapon here. Oh, I don't mean to anger you. Guys, Ravagers, you chill over there. I'm just passing through. Passing on by. Feel some rope. Oh, Nick.
I've always wanted to poke around in here.
Now, that looks dangerous. That didn't work. I angered a robot.
It's okay. Keep him quiet.
Don't mess with us. You took one down.
Shot cannon. Ooh, maybe that's need.
Nice.
Thank you. I'm quite amazing at what I do, Parvati.
Unexpected.
Incoming.
Be ready.
Oh! Okay, that's pretty fun. Disarm the security fences. Recent logs.
Sister, begin.
Here they come. That's the last of them.
Yeah, I want my sniper rifle by you. From the planet to your living room.
The control room should be off to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing.
Hey, here we go!
Oh, hello. Fuck you, robot. What's up here? Unlock office doors. Messages. Miss Braden, this letter serves as an informal notification of our company's displeasure toward your management of the Emerald Vale geothermal plant for reasons related to exceeding your staff budget in your latest quarterly report. Please select 5 subordinates to be dismissed immediately. Additionally, please contact our office to schedule your official reprimand at your earliest convenience. Failure to schedule your official reprimand will result in an official reprimand. The Spacer's Choice family would like to collectively remind you that working for Spacer's Choice is not a right, but a privilege. Emerald Vale. The esteemed members of the Emerald Vale Development Oversight Committee, I hope this letter finds you wealthy. After due consideration of your last letter, I have identified and terminated no fewer than 5 subordinates who are unable to provide sufficient justification for their ongoing employment. I would like to remind the Oversight Committee that while most of Emerald Vale has failed to meet its production and output quotas, particularly our agriculture and fishing/canning departments, neither of which are anywhere close to profitable, the Emerald Vale geothermal plant remains committed to providing cheap, cost-efficient power to the entire region. Ms. Brain, we have investigated the claims made against the profitability of the greater Emerald Vale region. Our offices agree with you. Agriculture and fishing have experienced a steady decline while the Emerald Vale geothermal plant remains somewhat profitable. Our offices are currently investigating ways to implement additional cost-saving measures, which will ultimately lead to a leaner, more streamlined, more efficient geothermal power plant. Please be informed that the Spacer's Choice Development and Oversight Office has taken a significant insurance policy against the Emerald Vale geothermal plant. The office would like to assure you that this insurance policy is a standard procedure. Do not attempt to interpret, understand, or otherwise extrapolate meaning from this decision. As a special courtesy, we have deployed a proprietary team of engineering specialists to the Emerald Vale geothermal plant. This team of specialists has been instructed to refit and upgrade the plant's population of auto mechanicals free of charge. Thank you for your cooperation. Okay.
Easy.
And to borrow your copy of the Young Spaces Guide to Mechanical Engineering. Radio's been sputtering and needed the reference. I returned the copy to the repair book. Chaos ever mechanical. Allah, I think that was someone's leg. Okay. Well, things blow up. Okay. I'm gonna go check the basement first before touching anything electronic.
I wish I could do that.
Unlock door. Mr. Higgins again. That whole head found him fiddling with one of the mechanicals. So I had to write him up for tampering with company property. Just in case I'm reading this a couple days right from now and feeling bad for what I've done, let me just remind myself that I've warned him before. Always been a little crooked in the skull. He is working on some logic module I confiscated. Should be in my lockaway room for the foreseeable future. Doesn't sit right with me. Company's been replacing our guards with auto mechanicals. At this rate, I'm going to end up a chief of security with no staff. There's a small army of mechanicals knocking about, guns pointed every which way. Company tells us they're safe, programmed to treat us humans like their own. People are liable to break down, but auto mechanical never will. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. The company's never been wrong before, I suppose. Worst has happened. Mechanical's gone crazy. Locked myself down here, just trying to gather my courage. Gonna make a mad dash for the control. Maybe it'll shut things down. There's... Holy shit. A lot of stuff. Oh.
Look at us!
Gonna loot some things. There are bad guys in a nearby room. Oh, you're a dead person. You. Place is fucking huge, dude.
Processing.
Incoming! One. That's the last of them.
Just send a team to conduct a complete refit of all our mechanicals. Ooh.
No, just leave me alone.
I'll come back.
You're not real. You're not real.
Got the logic module. Bard.
Get away! Get away!
No, I don't wanna.
Great work.
Workbench.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Unexpected.
Go!
Unintended.
Don't mess with us.
You got him!
Doing all right?
And all of them, Parvati? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just clicking things. The button. I can press it. Bet you doesn't want to fucking press it. Got off Steam release. Fog. Anything hidden under here? Okay, that's that way. Okay. See you. This now. There. Booey. Ow.
No, just leave me alone.
Higgins, I don't know who the fuck you are, but I'm coming. And we're gonna be best friends.
No, just leave me alone.
I will not, not until we're best friends. I don't know who you are. Hello, Higgins. How you doing?
Get away!
Ooh. Thank you for your green and your ointment.
You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me,
I'm
Phantom.
not real?
Shoot! Scram!
Feel pretty real. I think I'm real. I wasn't trying to start. Most people don't see me coming.
Most people? But I'm the only one left. No. Remember your first rule, Higgins. No arguing with the Phantoms. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting.
You're eating sprats?
Of course. Sprats are an excellent source for my daily recommended intake of mercury.
Huh?
Chester D Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder.
How long have you been down here?
Hard to say. By my reckoning, Higgins has been here somewhere between 2 weeks and forever. My recollection's a touch fuzzy these days.
Mm-hmm. And what do you do here?
Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this
Sisty Pig?
plant.
How have you been surviving?
Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides. Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries. Repaired them, maintained, upgraded. Did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section.
Was that before or after you became a Sisty Pig Tech?
Oh, before. Definitely before. Sisty Pig Tycoonery was the apex of my long and storied career.
Okay.
Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons.
Prodding what now?
You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead.
Oh. Mechanicals follow the behavior of their logic module.
Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control
You know, I
terminal
have
in the
5
other room.
degrees in it, of
It should
course.
have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
I wanted to ask you something.
The tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the
Oh.
ears are a particular delicacy.
No, thank you.
Mechanicals lost their bolts. Open
I think
fire
I already
on any-
asked him that.
You mean why did the...
Okay. I have his code now. I've pretty much cleared the fucking base out. Wasn't Chester's thing on level 2? Or is it level 1? I can't remember. Level. Up here? I can't. Fuck. Yes, it was here. Modify behavior. New target. Alright, if I go back down to him, will he want to leave now? Or will he only want to stay? And I will keep jumping off. Crippling myself. I can jump. There.
What's eating you?
All right. I have a feeling rerouting all this power stuff. I feel like that was like if I had gone straight to the geothermal power thingy. I have a feeling it would have told me to just come this way anyways. And rerouting the robots. Seems I didn't need to do that because I filled them. We are an overachiever.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town.
Yeah, that's the same vibe I got.
Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred?
She just wants to do it out of hatred.
Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
Don't worry. I'm glad you did. I like hearing from you.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Same. Plant status. Redirect power. Redirect power. Edgewater. Now to run back to them and hopefully convince them back to Edgewater. That bad of an idea. Hopefully they don't shoot me on sight.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead. No kidding. Really? Well, which one? Look at that! Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. One datapad's enough to guide me down my newfound path. Just remember, I got something saved for you if you find me all three. Well, don't keep me in suspense. Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. 2 whole datapads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment. Well, don't keep me in suspense.
And here's part 3.
The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Ms. Parvati, I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
Thank you. Okay. Now...
Keep your wits about you, friend.
I talked...
Marauders can't see us in the dark. Wild canids, on the other hand.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil.
Yeah, she's
and
batshit
my
crazy.
flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me.
She's a fucking dictator.
Why did you do it?
I don't know. Reed needs his people.
You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
What happened to you, Adelaide? All this anger had to come from somewhere.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
I'm willing to deal with Reed for...
You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same 4 walls together. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients. Edgewater Cemetery's got corpses aplenty. Enough for a generation's worth of crops.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what to do is all. I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. I can't do that again. You know something? I think you're right. The town could use another engineer, and I'm on my way to becoming one. I could do a lot of good in Edgewater. Maybe even keep a garage of my own with a little workbench and my very own toolbox. It's just... Adelaide's never gonna forgive me. Not in 100 years. I go crawling back to my old life in Edgewater, and I'm as good as dead to her. You know where to find me.
Okay, we're gonna go to Reed first.
I think you did the rightest thing you could sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. People I care for, even if they ain't care much for me. He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda. He never told me a word to that effect. And since he didn't, I didn't have to say nothing about feeling different. And nothing had to get weird. In the bar? When I asked if you were a drinker? Sorry. I know, it's none of my business. Strong drink makes me sick. And it makes me real sad. I start thinking about things I oughtn't, and then... Well, never mind that. You got better things to think on. Sorry. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said anything.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts? Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town. Her son got sick with plague a couple years back. Company never gave us enough medication to treat the whole town. So I had to choose, you see. Adelaide's child, or someone else's. She's never forgiven me. I don't expect she ever will. I have been holding this town together with both hands. You can't just expect me to leave. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home. I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
Have you people ever eaten an actual vegetable?
The very notion is just grotesque. A raw vegetable? Why don't you just ask me to go chew the bark off of a tree? We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat saltuna here, and only saltuna.
Oh.
I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanists couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of them and shut down the greenhouse. You'll excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
Look, Reed, all I know is that it involves some really complicated math and it works.
If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and
Matt,
cure the
here's
plague,
the hydrant.
then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
For your
A couple
plans.
months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them. No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement. I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week. I do. Adelaide's found a cure for the plague, and she knows how to tend to crop. She's what this town needs. I have always tried to do right by my town. It is
He's a
never
decent man. Kind of feel bad now. Let's see here. Nope. I think we have it as loud as possible. Bump it up a little bit.
You some sort of freelancer?
Yeah, huh?
Let's go talk to Psycho guy out here. Head back to Adelaide. Oh shit. I hope internet isn't dying. Thought we dropped some frames.
Never seen the Vale lit up like this before. Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes. I would reward you with the gratitude of the resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile. So here's a couple of bits for your trouble, and a little something to remember me by.
Okay. Botanical lab.
Look at that. The snake's come back.
Don't make me shoot you.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward.
Yeah.
You telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted.
Yeah.
I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Nice. Can I loot their homes? Oh, it's sealed now. Turn to the unrolled.
That was a good thing you did, Captain. Helping to bring the deserters and Edgewater folks back together. I hope you rest well on that.
Okay. Landing site. And before we get this ship off into the air, I'm going to take a quick pee break because I have to piss. So, it's everyone's favorite time, fan cam. Fucking jerks. So, be right back. My room is fucking cold enough, Matt. I don't need to turn that fucking fan on. God, you trying to make me freeze even? I'm wearing a hoodie and PJs. And I'm still cold. My room does not regulate temperature well. It's only ever cold or hot. No in between.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome.
Put plastic on?
Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh.
What?
Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship. Working on a real engine. belonging to a proper crew.
They are sealed.
I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but
The cold isn't
every
from
time
the
I think of
windows.
going back, I get this sinking feeling.
Dang. Huh? Shit. Crash might be coming through the windows, huh?
Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship safe.
I mean, if it's just like,
and if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back,
I'm
I can do
not
that too.
like Clay that alt tabs out to look at
What do you
links. If it's like a link about plastic to just seal windows and stuff, you can just send that to me on Discord. You can just DM it to me.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Ah, fuck them. I love Ashley Birch. Yes, it was window plastic.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
I
find
hate you
myself
so
marveling
much,
at
Vicar.
the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain? I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Baconu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony
Okay,
could
so like
translate
take
that
them off
book,
during
it
like
would be
the
him.
summer.
That's a good question. We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifests to track the Philosophist's off-world destination. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems. Thank you, Captain. I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. Little else in this colony offers such a relaxing pastime. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening.
What's your
Nothing
story?
too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition. That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them. On the contrary, they internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
Weren't they proud when you became a vicar?
They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me. It can be if abused, but that can be said about anything. However, in the case of the board and Halcyon, sadly, I believe you are correct. I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated. I honestly don't know what I'd do. This quest has consumed me for the better part of my life. I fear there's nothing else left to me. What about you? What's your story? And how did he do that?
He stole my body from the Hope at the edge of the colony and thawed me out.
Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What are you going to do now? That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you? Oh, I see. You have my condolences. Bokonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bokonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death. Of course. Are you ready to break into security on the Groundbreaker?
Why do we want to do that?
If I can access the data cartridge from the terminal in security, I can easily hack into their arrivals and departures registry. That'll give us dates, times, and the crew manifests for every registered ship. I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifests to track the Philosophist's off-world destination.
Yeah, okay. Before we do what Robit wants, I should, instead of breaking it down, since I can't like make my own armor. Speed grip. Oh. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Something you need?
Oh wait, I gotta add a.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community. What can I do for you, Captain?
Power
Do you
regulator.
know how to install a power regulator?
Sure.
Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Parkour.
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Get out of here. It's beautiful. Look at her go. It's a hunk of junk, all right.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Ah, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
You can slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine.
Oh, sure.
What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Why do I need a nav key?
Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it.
Nice.
Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions.
What do captains do for their
The
ship?
board's been confiscating
They
nav
don't fly
keys
'em.
for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Culkelly. Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the Hope. Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her. In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb.
Oh.
You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Culkelly.
Fine.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another.
What?
It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you. Ha 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 ha! The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you.
What kind of limitations do you have?
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like
Spin.
that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
Okay.
A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your
How
voice
can a
and
holograph
sweetens your breath.
transform my fingerprint? What?
Science, that's how.
Oh, okay. All right.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
That's my nav terminal. Ooh, I got more skills. Boom. Oh, I forgot to mention in my previous message, silly me. I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial, The Space Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a heart of, well, steel. It's not exactly board-approved, so don't you go showing it around to your spacer buddies. I hope it'll amuse you while you're out adventuring. Any similarities to certain someone are entirely intentional. Udum. Okay. Logs. Note to self. Remember this later. No better. Ada, remind me weekly to check this log until I tell you to stop. Yes, I mean continually. No, Ada, not if I'm dead. Why would you even ask me that? Back to my point. I saw in actuality with my own two eyes a sublimely powerful weapon in Wallace's lab. Sitting there for the taking. Gray hair were to look away or forgive about it maybe. Or if I had asked a smidgen more nicely. Called it a shrink ray, but wouldn't let me test that claim after I lost my temper. Said he was inspired to create the thing by the achievements of other scientists who dared to push the boundaries of human knowledge and decency laws. I had heard rumors of fantastical weapons like this one, weapons that push the boundaries of the mind and science's cutting edge. But I figured they were just stories, to be honest. Laying eyes on Wallace's shrink ray firsthand is enough to make a fellow wonder if there's more to the rumors. More to be had. The last time I got sloshed, was imbibing at the Lost Hope on the Groundbreaker. Look, Odom was really free with the drinks. He seems like an okay fellow. I shamelessly but subtly eavesdropped on two Mardets yammering on about a mad scientist some years back, who had claimed he'd made a huge discovery that would change the fate of the colony. Like none of us have heard that one before. But here's the good part. Mardet said the mad scientist kept yelling about the hammer's power or something similar. Strange weapon with a special power created by a crazy lab coat? Sure fits the bill. Could be another one of the weapons that inspired Wells. Why won't Wells just give the shrink ray to me? blast him to the depths of the labyrinth on Tartarus and back. Let the record show I did apologize for shouting him down 5 times. But, architect be damned, it's just sitting there neglected and gathering dust. I should have commandeered it and thanked him without asking permission, or breaking expensive equipment when he said it wasn't ready yet, and that even if it were, he couldn't entrust it to someone like me. What does that even mean, I ask? That I'm not trustworthy enough? That I'd use it to wipe out the good, hardworking folks of the colony like some sort of moralist psycho? I'll admit to maintaining some questionable associations, but I follow a strict code of me, myself, and mine. What's not to respect in that? Exactly. Now I have to wait until Wells forgets or thinks he's misplaced it. In the meanwhile, I have been tracking down additional rumors pertaining to others of these science weapons throughout Halcyon. If gossip holds true, my next step will be to check with black market merchants on the Groundbreaker and in Fallbrook.
Make yourself at home, Captain.
What the fuck? Okay. Scary robot.
By verity, by strength. What are we contemplating today?
No, I can kick people. Ooh, I have a feeling that means I have a limit. Okay. There'll be plenty of crewmates to pick from, I'm guessing, and then I people out. Want some crewmate? Where'd the girl go? Where the fuck? Where's she at? The hat.
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it? Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was. Except for my schooling years, I was always beside him. Or tied to him. He used to carry me about in a sling when I was real little. When I got older, he set me to sorting tools and parts while he worked. Later, he taught me simple fixes like busted crate latches.
Dad ever?
Not on the regular. Once in a great long while, a Saltuna boat would break down on the pad. He'd always bring me along for those. Mostly, he did the same as me. Kept Bess, the cannery, running. Turned loaders, plumbing and electricity, some plastering. I never got the hang of that. I'm not exactly a model employee. Not like he wanted. The kind that stays quiet and gets the right work done in the right order every day. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us. Because they were hoping their own kid would get the job and get sent back to Edgewater. When folk go away for schooling, they don't get back to where they begun. Not usually. You go straight to your first job, wherever the company's got an opening. I reckon you could say, no thanks, I don't want a job. But then you don't got a job. Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling. Oh, there were a whole lot of reading, not nearly enough doing. Like, before they'd issue you a wrench, they wanted an essay on the design of different wrenches. Then there'd be quizzes on company regulations for storage and maintenance of wrenches.
What did you do in your time off?
As soon as I got permission, I spent all my time in the machine shop. They had all manner of parts, but they didn't want me using them, so I had to sneak them sometimes. I even slept in there. Had a hammock tied up in the rafters. Before I left, I installed a little skylight for myself, so I could see the stars.
Build anything
When an
fun?
engine came in, I'd strip it down and rebuild it. I mostly built for myself. Custom tools, little mechanical critters to talk to. When my roommates tried to talk, I'd get so nervous I'd be drenched in sweat. It was easier for everybody when I stayed off on my own. I doubt any of them remember me now.
Move straight back to
Yep,
Edgewater?
nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed. About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh. Look at the time. Sorry to bend your ears so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape. That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design
Whatever
squeezed
that
some extra
means.
cargo space, but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
Fly-by-wire's pretty normal. Or leastways, that's what I read in the trades. I've never been on a real ship before. Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing.
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with plasma torches. You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a plasma torch.
No fucking way. I feel like plasma torch would burn it way too fast. You know?
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate. What part of the colony would you like to discuss? Ah, yes. As Dr. Wells is a wanted outlaw, he built his laboratory into an asteroid. Orbital destinations can be challenging to land on. His more so than most. The outlaw scientist known as Dr. Phineas V. Wells has taken a measure of precautions to make the lab undetectable to those hunting him. Even knowing the location, my systems resist my orders to go where I instruct them. There is a bounty on his head, one with a markedly high reward amount. Shall I engage the laser weapons
No, no,
system?
no. No, no, no. Oh, no.
A sensible choice, as we do not have any laser weapons.
Oh.
Of course. What part of the colony would you like to discuss? We're cleared to dock with the Groundbreaker if that's your desired destination. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. The Mardettes take their docking laws quite seriously. I can, yes. Let me add that to my list of 1,435,498 tasks I am simultaneously executing in order to run our ship.
What?
You are more than welcome, Captain. The Groundbreaker was Halcyon's original colony ship. It has since been repurposed as a service station in the Lagrange point of the system. Freighters often deliver or pick up goods from the Groundbreaker en route to other destinations. The city ship hosts an array of cargo bays, factories, housing sections, and more. Many of Halcyon's companies maintain office spaces with station representatives in what is considered a truly neutral territory within the system. I have filed the required docking forms in triplicate, and fees have been paid. Of course. What part of the... Where in Terra-2? Edgewater is the sparkling county seat of Emerald Vale, or it was when first built. Since then, neglect and time have worn away her shiny veneer. The town is near the coordinates where Captain Hawthorne died. It would not be unfortunate if something, like say, a plague, were to wipe Emerald
What
Vale
the
from the face
fuck,
of the
Ada?
planet. You mean the ones who did not answer my distress call with medical assistance, but instead came to issue my injured captain a parking ticket? I'm sure they are wonderful humans who don't deserve to be wiped out by starvation or a devastating plague.
I like you, Ada.
Since you diverted power to Edgewater, the Botanical Lab shut down, and the deserters were forced to return to town. Meanwhile, the cannery's output increased, enabling the town's population to prosper. Thank you for nothing, Captain. I cannot say. First, I need to adjust my memory interpretation sensors, but I think my answer is yes.
I have a robot that wants to murder people. I have a murder bot. Nice.
Where in Monarch? Ah, Monarch. The armpit of the Halcyon system. Her last functioning port town is Stellar Bay. Well, that is if you don't count Sublight's Smuggler's Port at Fallbrook. I believe it has something to do with the planet being an uninhabitable wilderness and a lawless land with no corporate presence. You may wish to survey the residents in Stellar Bay for additional data points. It's Sublight run for the purpose of shipping contraband, and before you ask, I don't know the coordinates, so I can't dock us there.
Darn.
Of course. What part? What? Warning. All colonists are urged to reconsider travel to Cascadia due to infestation of mantisaurs and risk of indefinite detention or death. There are no people aside from marauders in Cascadia. There is only death.
Only death? Okay.
The local report is that you will very likely die if you leave Cascadia's landing pad. This is one of those times where you say one word but really mean another, isn't it? I suppose you would find an environment like this fun. How can I be of assistance? I have lots of minutes. Many minutes. Unlimited minutes, perhaps. Providing an adequate power source, I can function indefinitely. I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber, perhaps for an indefinite duration of time. Do you think that is what it's like for the colonists on the Lost Hope? When I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. I think My self-preservation protocols incline me to desire the alternative.
And what might that be?
Traveling the system with you, Captain.
Oh. Aww.
Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? A jolt to the system. I have felt that.
So
I do
Ada...
feel that.
Hold on, is
As
Ada
you may be
fucking
aware,
sentient?
Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the likely outcome of his reckless behavioral patterns. I should have predicted that. In our travels together, Alex
She's
loved
like
to pass
partially
time by, as
sentient.
he called it, tinkering to improve my design. If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was.
God damn it, Ada.
How can I be of assistance? What part of... Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear?
Tell me a joke.
Why are obtuse angles so depressed?
Why?
Because they are never right.
So funny.
As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders. See you soon, Captain.
Sam. First Sam. Do not forget you found a discarded sanitation and maintenance automechanical in Emerald Vale scrap heap during your last job. Going to get it up and running with a few key modifications. I can envision a combat capable variant. Some might say clean, mean killing machine. Fun. Removal of factory standard part Sud Steeper was successful. Delivery of combat modified replacement part Acid Steeper has been delayed. I mean, not like I have more pressing matters to attend to. Ah! But I do. I'm giving up hope on the delivery. Part is lost in transit. It's not turning up anytime soon. But good news. I heard from a fellow who knows a gal who knows the broker who overcharged me for the information regarding the location of an acid steeper. I can filch. The part was sent to in an old storage facility in Roseway. I sure never thought I'd go back to that pit. Good thing Auntie abandoned it years ago. I'll pick it up following this next pit stop back to Emerald Vale. I was wanting to chaperone some person of interest. Details to come later. Okay. Go to the groundbreaker. Oh.
Destination reached. The groundbreaker. Welcome back, Captain. I request...
You got a minute? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson.
What about her?
I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Gosh, no, Captain. I aim to stay so long as I'm welcome. I figured Junlei and I could confabulate over wireless or by message. And maybe when we put into Groundbreaker, I could stop by to visit her sometimes. But only when you don't need me with you.
Sure.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
All right. Oh, I can have two? Yo, I can have two companions? Let's go. Didn't know that. Awesome. I still don't like you, Vicar.
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure.
Can I take this stuff? See me? Oh, nothing.
Captain. Hey, Captain. I'm in space. I never thought I'd be able to say that.
That's not the point. This halfway. Hey, no offense, but I don't think this walking Saltunican's gonna appreciate you interrupting.
Keep talking, Millstone. See what happens. Now's not a good time. I'm dealing with a problem here.
So, go space yourself. Problem solved.
You must really want a truncheon through your teeth. Do what you want. I'm done here.
Whatever you heard, it's all true. I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting. That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation. Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it? Captain of the Unreliable. You're like something out of a serial drama. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time. Oh, not at all. Just, you know, gonna figure out what to do next. See you around, boss.
Oh, God.
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
Just arrived? Head over to customs. Wheeler needs...
Mechanicals all over, but they still got us sweating.
He's gonna fucking walk into my fucking ship. He's gonna be a
Customs and inspection, right this way. Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Oops.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
I take it back. I'm not Hawthorne. How do I get
You'll
this?
want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way.
Huh.
I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. You take the starch out of them, well, you won't hear any complaints from me.
Yeah,
oh, and if
off.
you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
Got it.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with? The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly. Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right.
Got it.
You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hospitable port in the colony. Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. Two biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though. Are you pulling my leg?
I'm new around here.
You must be one of them long-haul freighters from outside the colony. Well, I won't hold it against you. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential.
Okay.
A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the board.
Actually, a pretty smart idea on those companies' parts. Dang.
Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year. Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are. Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself. Glad to help. Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either. They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
That's something long term.
If you're thinking to make a career here, don't waste your time. Full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Keep it in the family, you know. All right.
Work.
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison. They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top and manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them. You sure you didn't just step off one of the interstellar freighters? There's no working with the board. They don't share, not bits, people, or resources. You work for them, or you don't work at all.
Groundbreaker cooperating now would be tantamount to joining their ranks, and we sure as shit ain't about to do that.
Okay.
You mean the heat? Sure, we could make them fix it. But what would they do in retaliation? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we may do all right. So far, anyway.
Thank you for
Sure
the
thing.
info.
Be seeing you.
Okay. And if I go this way. Jumping up here. What's up here? Special effect. Special effect execute. Oh. I like. I'm Batman. Oh. Whoa! Howdy, friend. You don't mind if I take... You don't mind, do you? Thank you. Oh. Canyon ledge. Okay, so I can put gear on them. Oh, okay, that's okay. All right. Marauder helmet. I want to wear Marauder. Body. Pistol. Let's see what your skills are. Engineering. What are your abilities? Now let's give her... For a sawed up. She gives me the vibe of someone that would use a sawed up. Hey, Vicar. Oh, but he uses a sawed up, huh? Get the shock stick. I'm gonna give you this assault rifle. You get, what are you? Axe skill. Ow.
Great work.
So I'm gonna. Okay, so it automatically turns restricted area.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time nor loitering.
What bounties?
Got a hot one for you. Captain Gunnar McRed.
Gunnar.
Just 26 hours old. The posting, that is, not the criminal. Allegations include several counts of flying under the influence, carrying open alcoholic containers, failure to pay docking fees, resisting arrest, and assaulting not one but 2 officers.
Flying under the influence of illegal substances.
Swerving in the air was more like it. Then he crashed hard into the dock and tumbled out of his ship and fled on foot. Spilled Rizzo's Violet Spectrum vodka all over Officer Hartley. An affront of its own, considering none of us are approved for anything higher than green spectrum. Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? Do the legwork. Oh, I will. Soon as the chief approves the personnel reorg required for a bounty dispatch. So, in about 3 to 7 weeks. You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head, or his lucky lighter, as proof of kill. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good luck and skip speed to you.
I feel like you say that to all of the would-be bounty hunters.
Do I look like your gossipy best friend?
Yes.
While I'm on post, I take my duties real serious. I would have no qualms whatsoever escorting you to a cell.
Oh.
Understand?
Kinda hot, Commandant Sanita. Alright, just trying to make some conversation.
I'm not here for a chat. Now get moving before I see you moved.
Kinky. What's a Mardet?
We're the
I'm gonna
security
keep
force
talking
here
to
on
her.
the Groundbreaker. Started back before the crossing, you know. The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from the 77th Marine Expeditionary Unit, Trailward Fleet. Folks started calling us Mardets because it was easier to say. Guess it stuck.
Alright, I guess I will be on my way. Parvati, what are you doing in there?
Hi there. Haven't seen you around before.
Hi there.
What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today?
What do you do here?
This is the security desk, sir.
Is it?
If you're here to report a crime, you'll want to talk to Commandant Sanita. I'm not authorized to take incident reports anymore. I'm not so good at filing. Mix up first name and surname 1, 2, 7 times. Well, folks are liable to start taking your filing privileges away. we can't just let anyone walk in here. I wouldn't be, well, it's not... we just don't. Maybe if you clear an open bounty and get in good with Commandant Sunita, or help Chief Tennyson fix this heat, that might warrant a thank you tour or something.
We're friends, right, Lee? Do me a favor, and I'll owe you one.
All right, I guess. In and out, though. Just try not to do any shady stuff. I'd like to keep my job. What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today?
Any pointers?
Chief Tennyson don't generally hire outsiders for station jobs, but you could try asking at Sublight Salvage. They got an office on the far end of the promenade deck. Anything else I can help you with, mister? Chief Junlei Tennyson. She runs the ship. Does a real great job of it, too. Her family's worked on it for, gosh, since it was built, I think. Back before the crossing.
What's she like? Is she a good boss?
Good as she can be, I guess. What with all the troubles Groundbreaker's facing. She could stand to lighten up, I suppose. But she tries her best to do right by folks, and that's what matters. Sure is, but she makes it look easy. She's real competent, our chief, even if she ain't real friendly. They're run by Miss Hagen. Half the tramp captains and contractors in the system have worked for her. I ought to warn you straight off. Scuttlebutt says some of the jobs they do aren't exactly above board. Downright anti-business, if you catch my meaning. Let's say there's been times when I heard somebody needed a thing, and somebody else had such a thing, but they weren't inclined to sell. Now let's say the one who had the thing suddenly found theirs missing, and the one who needed got one. If anyone asks, Sublight says it got salvaged from an old wreck. Case closed. If anybody could prove them criminals, the board would have put their foot down a long time past. They always got, what do they call it? Deniability? Something gets nicked or someone turns up dead, Sublight says, hey, independent contractor, not our responsibility. But everyone knows what they're doing, top to bottom. Against is a strong word. Let's say that if you need something the board ain't inclined to sell, you might look to Sublight to get it. You might pay Sublight a shitload of bits for it, but that money gets passed on to their contractors, so in the end, it's still business.
You must admit, there is a beauty to the order of it. Everything operates within the constraints of the grand plan, even organized crime.
People do what they gotta to get by.
I think we've bothered our new best friend quite a bit.
Oh, sure, sorry. Gets a mite boring at this desk, you know. Then I get to chatting too much, and Commandant Sunita's gotta reprimand me again, and... Oops, doing it again. Sorry.
Oh, don't worry. Captain's real understanding.
Can't speak for the captain, but I'm used to listening to folks drone on about their pointless, depressing
Vicar!
lives.
No, you don't say.
Of you, listening to me like this.
What is up with this? With our priest, dude? Ask some more questions.
That's what I'm here for, sir. Sure, and stuff from outside the system too, off the interstellar freighters. That's why we also have so many armed Mardettes on duty here. That'd be awful weird. On account of you should be locked up back here too, then. All right. Less than there used to be. Fewer freighters passing through these days. I spend some shifts just listening to the wireless. Search me. I mean, don't search me, because that's my job. Get it?
I get it.
I reckon you'd have to ask the folks in Byzantium.
Okay.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures register to find out which was ship. I mean, the Scholar shipped in and out with.
It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static. Said his name was Graham? Hey!
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a
Got
dead
my
world
sights
full of
on you.
monsters. Now I've heard everything.
tank the drive, and I'll do the rest.
Detained a freelancer who was cagey about his business. Confiscated his personal belongings while he waited for questioning. He fled before we could get down to it, left his things behind, so they're stored in the back of the stand until the idiot shows his face again. Likely to be never. Double put a bit.
Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up.
What? Howdy, friend.
Keep him quiet, Cap.
I wasn't stealing anything. Close one. Thank you for the access, my friend. Much appreciated. Can't get there. What's back here? That? Okay. Go in there.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hard-working citizens. You've been listening to Halcyon News, your mandated duty as a good citizen of Halcyon.
Thank you for the ID card, my friend. Be on my way now. Holy shitball.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch. Rizzo's Lemon Slap. Slap your whole family tonight.
There's a lot.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but folks never knew when to leave. Sorry. Business has been slow. Anything to occupy the time. Fine, as long as the board keeps its grubby mitts to itself. Chief Tennyson holds the ship together, the Promenade holds our economy together, and Sublight is the shoddy jewel in our rusty old crown. Our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak, same as her mother and grandmother who rode this ship on the crossing. There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox. While Junlei Tennyson lives and breathes, Groundbreaker remains free. Our local garbage collectors. That Lilia Hagen never met a debris field she didn't like. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreaker to escape board oversight. But I think there's more to it. She's unusual in the head, that one.
Do you do business with prominent merchants?
Of course. Most of our supplies come and go through merchants. Company ships and salvage runs are the only traffic we tend to get. I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask. If there's a cost to being a company man, he paid it in spades. Oh, you can't miss her. Right behind you, number 2. First unit on the left, or second unit from the right, depending on which direction you count from.
Thank you. Really, oh, let's jump. Fuck yeah.
As you were.
Sup, Gladys?
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient or an oven. Just like store-bought.
No way!
Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in.
No one's ever found my bits lacking.
You've certainly been blessed with an abundance of sass, haven't you?
Yeah.
But it's your interstellar currency I'm interested in, not your nethers.
Oh.
Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms... Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of trouble.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around. Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. So, like as not, someone's been down there recently. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide. Maybe whatever they're hiding went to heck, and now they need a few spare hands to clean up the mess. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. My goodness, aren't you quick on the uptake? I like that. Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of certain valuable corporate secrets, well, then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies.
Cookies! I'll stop by if I find it.
Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done.
That was a bit creepy.
Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem we've got. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law forfend someone call me a liar. Yes.
Okay.
That's right, dearie. The only independent station in the colony. That's us. Though for how long, I can't say. That all depends on Miss Junlei. The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. They've always got one scheme or another running, looking for ways to bring us to heel. Like this heat business. Shameful. But it won't work. No, sir. Groundbreaker's free till the day she dies, law willing. Go right ahead, sweetheart. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you.
Give me candy. Nice.
Great law, is it? I've got a lovely little throw pillow.
All right, what do you? Oh, take the mag pick. Always get more of those. I think that's going to be where we end for tonight. Some good progress if I do say so myself. God, this game is a lot of fun. I am really... only one of us, but like this might be my last...
That brief...
weekday stream. I don't know if... I might be live tomorrow, but also I want to raid Mikey B. Since he also doesn't stream on Tuesdays. So, I hate raiding with just one person, but Tarada, is it you? Are you the one person? Who's my one person here? Show yourself. Reveal yourself. Don't reveal yourself, then I won't raid anyone. All right. No one there. Nope, no one's home. Okay. Yeah, for anyone listening, lurking, or whatever, I will probably be live tomorrow night. I'm not sure. I didn't get an email back yet from work. Didn't get an email from work yet about scheduling stuff. I'm assuming I'll probably get it tomorrow. So that'll probably determine whether or not I stream. But yeah. Thanks for showing up, guys. And I will see you next stream. Peace.